You are listening to the Ditch the Budget podcast, and I am your host, Heidi Rumor. I'm a wife, a mom of 2 young boys, and I've spent the last 17 years in financial services as a licensed financial planner, insurance specialist, and debt crusher. My goal is to show you that there's more to life than counting calories and paying bills, and that you truly can get out of debt and build wealth without the restrictive budgets and complicated spreadsheets. So if you're ready to reduce your financial stress and truly live the life of your dreams, then tune in and let's do this. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Ditch the Budget podcast. I'm your host, Heidi Rumor, and I thought I would spend today's episode with a little bit of encouragement for those of you who are doing some reflecting and you're looking at the past year. And for some of us, it was a complete and utter shit show. For others, we survived. For others, they thrived. And some of you may have thrived in some areas and survived in others. And I just want to say that regardless of where you stand on that thrive scale, I guess we will call it, I want you to know that there are lessons in everything, and I think we can really spend time analyzing and looking at the negative that some of this past year has brought us, and almost like a sense of relief when the clock strikes midnight. It's a brand new year. We get to set intentions, set New Year's resolutions if you do that, or set some goals. And I'm definitely more on the goal setting side of things. I make it very tangible. Shameless plug, I am hosting a workshop on January the 11th for anybody who is interested in setting practical financial goals. And what I mean by that is the approach we're going to take to reach those goals are going to be very step-by-step and laid out for you, and are going to combine the strategy with the woo-woo, because I think you need a little bit of both. But more importantly, it's going to include some accountability. So I think it's just going to be an amazing event. It's donation-based, so, whatever you have available, it's going to go to a great family that's in financial need. But aside from that, where I wanted this episode to go was really a reflection of the past year. I think I'm somebody, and maybe this resonates for some of you, I'm somebody that doesn't celebrate as much as I probably should. Like, I turned 40 and I went to an Airbnb by myself. Like, that's just to show you the level of celebrating that I like to do. And it's not because I don't like to have fun. I'm an overachiever by nature. I just love moving the goalpost. I hit a goal and then I move the goalpost and make it harder. And I don't actually spend a lot of time celebrating and staying in the space of gratitude for what I just accomplished. And if that's like any of you, I just want you to know that I've come a long way in the last few years. I've done a lot of work on myself, and there is hope for you if you're somebody like me, that you're just never quite feel satisfied with the job that you've done, and it's purely like a self-reflection type of thing. When I actually look back at what I've accomplished in the last year, it is quite amazing, and I think it's a good thing that I'm not satisfied, because there's just more people that I want to help. There's a bigger voice that I want to have, and more of an imprint that I want to leave on this world. But in order to get there, I do need to take time to take stock of the past year. And that's exactly what this episode is all about, is how do you really revel in the wins, but not only just that, but how do you make sense of the losses and the times where you came short, or some shitty events that might have happened in the last year? Because I know for me, there was a lot. And, as I'm recording this, we're still not sure if the kids are going to be going back to school, if we're going to be in another lockdown, like what's happening. The world just seems still upside down. And 2 years later, we're still, I think, trying to make sense of it all. But what I wanted to share with all of you is really something that was said to me when I lost my corporate job. And that was, why did this happen for you? And so it's not to become a martyr, and it's not to have some toxic positivity or any of those buzzwords that have just been rampant in the last year. But I really do think that there is lemonade to be made in the lemons. And when we look at all the stuff that didn't go our way, the dark times, the stormy times, I think that if we just spent a little bit of uncomfortable time really truly reflecting on what was that there to show me. I was speaking with a client who her marriage is on the verge of breakdown, and she's trying to hold it all together. And we had a really honest conversation. Of course, we were talking about her finances, and we were trying to figure some things out. And, just having that, she's going through what some would call like a devastating time, right? And she's just really trying to find the lessons in, what? This has really showed me that I've been putting myself last for so many years, and I'm just done with it. It's time to put me first. And so for her, a little bit of that empowerment around her money, around her life in general, I think is so beautiful. And not to say that a marriage breaking down is beautiful, so please don't twist my words, but there's something in the lesson that is, I think, there to be shown and seen if you're willing to take the time to really reflect on it. I know with this podcast over the last year, I've kind of made a concerted effort to bring you financial tips and money tips and mindset tips. And I think a great summary of all of that is, why did that happen for you, whether it was good or whether it wasn't? And more importantly, if it wasn't, and really reflecting on those lessons. And I think giving it a voice and a name instead of shoving the dark times under the rug. I know for me, and maybe this resonates with some of you, for me, I am somebody who definitely sees life as the glass is half full, even with what's been going on. And at times I felt like, there's some things you just don't want to talk about in business, right? Politics, religion, of course, what's happening right now. I think it can be so polarizing. And I just want to say that regardless of any of that and where you stand and how you're feeling is, why did that happen for you? And if some friendships or some relationships have maybe changed over the last year, 18 months, again, why did that happen for you? And what's the lesson there for you to really take stock of? So hopefully this isn't too depressing, but I'm super excited for a new year. I know for me, I have a lot of big, scary goals. I had a lot in 2021. Some I hit, most I didn't, and that's okay. I'm kind of a shoot for the moon and you might land up among the stars kind of person, and that's okay with me. So I wish you the most amazing reflection of the year 2021. I wish you the most financial abundance in 2022. I'm going to be talking on my next episode about some strategic things that you can do to set yourself up really nicely for the new year. If you are somebody that is interested in practical approach to financial goal setting, you're definitely going to want to check out the show notes and register for that event happening on January 11th. But I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for an amazing year. Thank you for following along. I get tons of messages. If this has resonated with you, please, I read everything. So take a screenshot, throw it in your stories, tag me in it, give me your thoughts, send me a DM. I'm here for all of the things as usual. So I love you. And if nobody has told you yet, this year in 2021, you're doing a kick-ass job. And why did it happen for you? See you next time on the next episode of the Ditch the Budget podcast.